What's up, guys? So after I played Delphox all day yesterday, I can finally come to a better conclusion if you should buy this Pokemon or not, because 10,000 gold, is a lot for some. It was rumored to be 8,000, but sadly in the end it was also still 10,000, so a lot of gold. And first of all, I think the Pokemon is very fun. It's a very, very fun Pokemon, but in the end it feels like kinda similar to Espeon, where it has a lot of potential, it does a lot of things, but it just doesn't do enough damage on its own. Even though this game you will see I did a lot of damage as well, but like as a solo queue carry it feels quite difficult. I think it has probably better chances maybe in a pre-made setting. The Unite move is very, very good as well in a pre-made setting in general as well, and being able people to, follow up your Fire Spin and also having more peel. Because this Pokemon, right, is very squishy. It doesn't have a lot of mobility going on, so if you get ran down by certain things, it's very difficult. There were certain matchups where I struggled a lot. Let's say stuff like Machamp, right, Gengar. It's very difficult. Even like Spirit Check at Decidueye, if you don't have a healer like Blissey or something, you just get poked down like crazy. You literally can't dodge anything at all with this Pokemon. It's quite difficult, and obviously unless you go Flame Charge. But I think Fire Spin and Mystic Fire is for sure the way to go. Later on today I will also have a full guide on this Pokemon, so you can first now decide if you want to buy it, and later on you can also decide, should I watch a guide on this Pokemon if you want to actually buy it, and if this convinces you to buy this Pokemon. First of all, I think it's mainly a jungler still. I think it can lane, but your lane has to be, a strong lane partner. So if you play with anything like a Ralston lane or something that has absolutely terrible early game, you're not going to have a good time. Yes, you evolve from level 6, right, to Delphox fully already, but you don't really have good early game. Besides that, Ember can be body blocked, Mystic Fire can be body blocked, so even if you get to level 6, you still don't really have very good last hitting, because it just gets body blocked. It doesn't pierce, it's going to explode on the first target hit. Mystic Fire does have AoE damage as well, it has like an AoE explosion, but the enemies can still just walk in front of you if they have like a tank, a Wigglytuff, a Blissey or something. It can just face tank your Ember, your Mystic Fire, and make it very, very hard to block. So I think this Pokemon does kind of need to be in the jungle just to have a chance. If you fall like 1 or 2 levels behind to your opponents, you just don't do damage anymore. You really just don't do damage. Besides that, Pokemon is, I think, difficult-wise, pretty average, I think. It has a lot of skill shots going on, but Fire Spin is just very, very easy, right? You just put Fire Spin on someone, they're gonna get stunned, it's gonna chase them around, and then you can hit a Mystic Fire for free. Besides that, Mystic Fire can be difficult to hit. The most difficult thing, obviously, is, since you're squishy, is positioning, right? Having the right positioning, knowing when to use Unite move. But the Unite move is also insane. So this Pokemon has a lot of potential with Fire Spin and the Unite move, but the rest, like, you can see how fast I die, right? But again, I'm an attacker. Yeah, also pretty low basic attack range in general. But yeah, Fire Spin is very, very strong. Fire Spin is, like, I guess similar to Psyshock's Espeon as well. It's very, very strong, has low CC, even better than Espeon's Psyshock, because it's actually just, it follows a target. It's gonna stun something. It's gonna knock something up and CC them for quite a while. So I think it's mainly a jungler. So if you want to lane, well, I think if you like mages in general, so if you just enjoy Pokemon like Pikachu, Gardevoir, I think this Pokemon is perfect for you, right? You're gonna enjoy playing this Pokemon. If you don't enjoy those skill shot based mages that are very squishy, then I don't think this Pokemon is going to be for you. And I did struggle a lot in certain matches. Like, I think I ended with a 50% win rate, which is pretty rare, I think, for me to have a 50% win rate in, like, how much did I play? In like 14 games yesterday that was able to actually play this Pokemon, or 18 games. I ended up with a 50-50 win rate, which means it is very hard to carry games with this Pokemon. It is very, very difficult. If your team is just a slightly bit worse, it's already quite difficult. You just get overrun by opponents, right? You get overrun, and it's very, very difficult to carry. So again, similar to Espeon, right? Espeon as well. Like, if your team is just not there, like, those Pokemon need teammates for them to work well. You need frontline, you probably need a support. Otherwise, you just like a free target for your opponents, pretty much. And yeah. Besides that, I had a lot of fun playing this Pokemon. I think it's a very fun Pokemon. And again, maybe it's just something I haven't really figured out about this Pokemon yet that I'm kind of missing. Because, I mean, I think there's a lot of head items you can go on this Pokemon. A lot of different head items. I mean, you can see we do a lot of damage right here, right? Like, we're doing damage after damage. We're seeing them with Fire Spin quite a lot. So, it's just your typical mage. But I just wish it was, maybe a bit tankier, or just did a tiny bit more damage as well. Like, Fire Spin just doesn't do damage. Of course, I mean, it's a crazy ability, right? Why would it need to do more damage if it already has like this absolutely crazy CC? Also, the Unite move has very, very insane potential. It has the lowest cooldown in the entire game on 84 seconds. So you can just kind of spam it pretty much on cooldown as much as you want to. And it also has a pretty strong slow. I think I'm gonna die soon to it as well. I didn't understand, like, I was like, this unite move looks kind of weak, and then I realized it has a very strong slow. Like here right now, I couldn't really move because I was stuck in the enemy unite move of the enemy Delphox. And it CCs for a very, very long time. Here's my unite move now, you can see the Trevenant kind of being stuck there, so like the initial thing is gonna slow, and for quite a lot. And besides that, like again, if a game just went a tiny bit bad, but I think that's every mage, right? Like if you fall behind as Pikachu, Ninetales, Sylveon, Espeon, if you fall behind and you're 1 or 2 levels behind, you're just not going to do damage. you just don't do damage on these Pokemon. I really wish they would give special attackers a bit more love compared to like attackers. Also, attackers are like physical attackers and physical, you know, all-rounder speedsters. They do so much damage as well. They also crit a lot. Okay, this Pokemon actually can crit as well. Mystic Fire can crit, but you have to run Scoplins for it. Which, you know, what if special attackers also had some sort of crit rate? I feel like I either wish every Pokemon had some sort of crit rate, or no Pokemon had crit rate. But I feel like it's kind of unfair that, you know, Pokemon like Greninja do so much damage on their abilities, and then their auto attacks can also crit you for like 800, 900, 1000 damage, right? That's as much as my my Mystic Fire sometimes does right to someone. And they can just crit you for this much damage just by not even run scope lens to crit, right? Greninja has like a 30% crit rate, and they just murder you in abilities and auto attacks at the same time. You can see like I did a full combo on Blissey, and Blissey, I mean it's Blissey, right? Blissey's very tanky, but it's just absolutely no damage. I wish maybe Fire Spin would do like percentage damage or something, so you're also able to maybe kill tanks a bit easier, because I think that's what mages also lack in this game, or special attackers. They just lack an ability to kill tankier targets. You can see an entire combo on Blissey with something else on top of it, barely even half HP onto the Blissey. Go back, also we have no mobility. So again, if he, like in these team fights, if the enemy Machamp just presses Unite move and just walks to me, there's literally nothing I can do. And luckily he misses his Unite move. I'm just standing in my Unite move there myself. Like you can actually just stand in it and just make people run into you. I guess that's kind of like mobility, just staying in your own Unite move and just hoping that, you know, stuff happens. Same for like Machamp. Machamp does so much damage, right, on his entire moves, but his auto attacks can still crit you for 1500 damage. I really wish this Pokemon would also do some more auto attack damage. I feel like that would be something very nice. Because auto attacks feel so weak, and I feel like it would be more interesting if special attackers also had a bit more auto attack damage in general, so they can actually also do things. So maybe then they don't have to crit, but you know, having a bit more auto attack damage would be quite nice. Because the auto attack damage of this Pokemon is absolutely low, right? It really does no damage. Look at this. 163, 360 on the boosted auto attack. It's a complete joke, right? And the boosted auto attack doesn't even do anything. It's just damage. So auto attack's an absolute joke on this Pokemon. And it's the same for Espeon as well. But Espeon's boosted auto attack at least slows, right? So I really wish the boosted auto attack of mages would do a bit more. I mean, not as much as like Venusaur, because I think Venusaur's boosted auto attack is just complete dumb. But you know, stuff more like similar to Ninetales, where the mages have some nice effect on their boosted auto attack. So it actually does something more. I don't want it to CC either. Like I don't think it has to CC. But you know, just something more, maybe a bit more damage on the boosted auto attacks. Or just, you know, an AoE explosion or something, right? That would make much more sense. Or, you know, marking them for special, like reducing the special defense on a boosted auto attack or something, just so you're able to actually kill tankier targets a bit more. Also, the Pokemon has very bad, so why it's kind of bad in jungle, it has very bad Zapdos damage, right? You can put Unite move on Zapdos, but it still won't just really die. Right here I'm just getting run down. Like I'm just trying to kite, but I just have no chance. I just get completely run down and can't really do much about it. So yeah, I think if you really enjoy mages, you should buy this Pokemon. If you're not a big fan of special attackers, then I think you should just wait a bit. If you really like this Pokemon Delphox as a design, which I don't know, can be questionable because this Pokemon looks very weird when you see it walking around. And but yeah, if you really enjoy this Pokemon's design, I guess you just go for it. I think it's totally fine to play. You're gonna have a lot of fun playing this Pokemon. Will also be pretty frustrating sometimes, but then it has a pretty decent skill cap as well, and you're gonna have a good time playing it. That's all. If you're a jungler, you can consider as well, but again, it can't kill objectives, right? So having a jungler who doesn't have last hitting, you know, you can't really last hit Dread. Mystic Fire is like, it does a bit of damage, but it can't really last hit, you know, successfully. Again, it can also be body blocked by someone. So it doesn't really kill objectives fast, and Mystic Fire doesn't really have a last hitting potential either that, you know, other abilities have, like Surf or Pyro Ball or Cinder Aces and stuff. Dragon Knight, name all those Spirit Shackle that all those jungler have. Aegislash. And it just doesn't kill objectives, so I think that's why it might not be even a good jungler. And you kind of might just be handicapping your team when it comes to picking a jungler. So we lost this game, but it was actually the highest damage game I've ever done, 110k damage on this Pokemon. Hope this video was helpful in deciding if you want to purchase this Pokemon or not. And again, later on I will have a guide coming out as well to explain all the abilities a bit more. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye!